after the Israelites. We come here week in and week out, prophesy the downfall of this nation, wake our brothers and sisters up. The brother Malak Nehemiah is edifying the sister over here, man.
And there,
so that's how we're going to start off today, man. Let's get to it.
Enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now this verse just said, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. The word Egypt here is not talking about the landmass. Egypt is a Greek word which means bondage. You can see that in Exodus chapter 2. So the Lord is saying, I'm going to bring you into bondage again with ships, right? Are we not considered the descendants of slaves here in America? And they were brought here on ships. When we got here, we were sold on auction blocks, right? To our enemies, who were the white people, the same Edomites from Psalm 83 that we was talking about, the same people that want you to forget who you are, and the same people that told you this book was not about you, right? And to this day, would you say that we're still owned by those white people? Those white people still control us. So that's one of the signs that you can see that we are the true chosen people of this Bible. I give you another. Let's go to verse 50. Give me 28 and 54, please.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother.
Salakia. So, what it's saying is, whoever these people are, the men of that generation, right, who's supposed to be the provider, right, and delicate, and teaching and leading his people, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, right? Now, aren't we the only people known for black-on-black crime? Even though crime takes place in every neighborhood, among all races of people, but for some reason, black-on-black crime is a major staple in the media, how they project us, right? Do you agree?
Yes.
Come on, that one.
Yo, also, let me point out, Salaki, let me point out also, when it says tender among you and very delicate, it's not no homo stuff. It's just that we actually used to care for one another.
There you go.
We used to show love to one another. That's all it's talking about. We started from the top again. Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom.
Now, you see that African Americans, or maybe you don't see, but statistics will show you African Americans have the worst rate of divorce in this country, right? The communication between men and women in our community is horrible. Would you agree?
Yes.
And towards the remnant of his children.
Now, how many of us have problems in the household regarding our parents, right? It can be toxic at times, right? Get the end of that for me, Adawan.
Which he shall lead.
Now, I don't have to convince you, black men as a whole, we have a huge problem with staying in the household, right? We're always leaving the household for some reason. That is a curse that we have for not following the Most High. These are signs that our ancestors wanted us to make sure we knew how to identify who the Lord's true children are.
That's right.
Give me 56 out of 1.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56.
Come on.
The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her feet upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Her eyes shall be evil towards the husband of her bosom, and toward her son, and towards her daughter.
So we see these beautiful black women that we have. These women who are supposed to be so delicate and nurturing, right? The mothers of our households. What we see them doing now? Kick off their shoes, they fighting in the street, take the earrings off, they snatching weaves. We see women doing drive-bys, shooting other women now, right? It's a common factor in the household for the mother and the daughter to go at it at some point, right? The reason that is because we're not following the Bill of Rights that we got from the Most High. We're not following those laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High gave us. So because of that, these curses fall upon our people. But you don't see that same thing with every other race. You don't see East Indian women boxing it out with their daughters, or East Indian women doing drive-bys after the club.
Hey, the scripture says that her eyes shall be evil towards her husband first. You know what I'm saying? Our women buck up against that man quick. Yo, the Asian women, they submit to their husband. Ishmaelites, the Arabic women, for the most part, they do what's right in their homes. Until they become Americanized, then they start going off. What you want to say? Do what's right. A woman is supposed to be subject to her husband. Because her husband is her head. Let's get that 1 Corinthians 11. Shalaki, I don't want to take what you teaching. Let's get it, because let's teach the sister. 1 Corinthians 11 and 11. Now this is the order that the Most High has set for us and our women and men in general.
Alright.
Shalaki and sister, I ain't got no chance. What you doing?
I'm at work.
Oh, we're about the whole family with him, man.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So the head of every man is Christ. We can agree with this, right? Christ should be the head of every man. Every man should honor Christ. You believe in Christ? You don't know? Maybe so. Okay, we not religious. We definitely are spiritual. Because what's spiritual? The law is spiritual. See, people don't really know what I'm not trying to knock what you saying. I'm saying that people really don't know what spiritual really means. You know what I'm saying? Or even what religion or religious really means. Religion just means like to subdue, to be subdued. So it's more like a discipline. Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of God is a discipline for us. That is our religion. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm religiously doing martial arts, I'm gonna kick every day. This becomes my religion. Because I'm gonna do stuff continuously, over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna practice something over and over and over again. I do this religiously. You ever heard of that term? Religiously. I do this religiously. It's not all about praying to some idol or worshiping something. That's that word of religion by itself. It's not about that. It's about discipline. See, the Most High has set us a discipline. If you believe in God, right, you're not supposed to kill, right? You're not supposed to commit murder, right? This is a discipline. Because if you don't have no discipline, I can shoot up whoever I want to shoot up and do whatever I want to do to whoever I want to do. But God said you're not supposed to be like that. I'm not supposed to steal. This is a discipline. And without that discipline, I can run up in Walgreens and steal whatever I want to steal.
Yeah, it's kind of like, the way I see it, it's more like you get that morality from within.
How did it first start though? It first started because you talk about thousands of years later, after the Most High has given His word. So without the word, without wisdom, no, we are brute beasts. We are beasts. We will murder, kill, steal, and that's what we gonna do. Rape, rob, murder. You ever seen Mad Max? Or what's another movie like Mad Max? Book of Eli. You never seen Book of Eli? You ever, they call that era like a dystopia. I think that's what they call it, right? Where people are just out there living in the desert, just scavenging, taking whatever they want.
Like inner.
You can look at it like that, right? Without the wisdom that the Most High has given to man would be like literally like beasts.
That's right.
We will be out here with the wisdom that we have of the earth. You know what I'm saying? With be able to make traps and make fire, make weapons, things like that, right? With that wisdom, we will be killing, murdering, raping, and destroying.
People do that.
Because they don't have the wisdom of God.
Right.
Because they don't have the true wisdom of the Most High God. That's what we out here trying to tell our people to do. We talk about black on black crime. Our people are lacking the true wisdom of the Most High God.
Well, more than our people though.
It's more than our people. But we need to first focus on our people. We need to get right. I see you as a sister to me. You probably the same age or maybe even younger than my son.
17?
Yo, my son's older than you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking at you like, yo, I need to save my daughter. I need to save my niece. I need to save my brother.
Precept.
Go ahead, bring it up.
It's the book of
I just
Proverbs.
took over your spot, my bad.
It's the most high spot. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 30.
Bring it up.
They would none of my counsel. They despised all my reproof. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. But whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safely, and shall be quiet from fear of evil. So what this is saying right here, just like you saying, people do these wicked things every day. We don't fear those wicked things because we serve the Most High. We understand how to move in a wicked world because we have the teachers the Most High gave us. Without this, we would fall victim to the same things that's going on out there. That's why we fall into the trap. We actually call the trap, go to the trap, get trapped, and do it all over again. We do that, do we not? We do that because we don't follow these instructions, right? And some of us don't even have the strength to be able to reach out and tell my brother or my sister what you're doing is wrong. Why? Because that nigga might bust my head if I do that. We don't have that fear because we serve the Most High. I don't fear any evil on this earth. The only person I fear is the Most High. Because I fear him, I love you. I want you to do better because I fear him. I hear that one.
Hey, yo, read this. This is what the Most High has given to his chosen people, right?
That's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4 and verse 5. And it
Hey,
reads,
Shalom, up.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me.
Hey, so the Most High is, well, this is Moses speaking right now, right? And the Most High is talking to the children of Israel. And he's saying, man, I taught you statutes and judgments that the Most High commanded me to teach you. The Most High gave me these things, and I taught them to you. Go ahead, read.
That ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Whatever land we go to, we was going into our land of Egypt, it's like in the land of Israel, we're supposed to have kept these ways. Every land, everywhere we go through for the rest of our lives, we got to keep these ways. Go ahead, read.
Verse 6. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
Yo, this is our wisdom and understanding in the sight of all the nations. See, we're dealing with our own people right here. Because did you go to 76?
Gotcha.
I'm just going to take over.
Go ahead. I don't
Deuteronomy
want
76. Get that. See, the Most High had told us that we are a chosen people, man. Above all people of the earth. You probably never even taught that before, that the Most High is actually a separatist. He don't deal with everybody else. We can show you that in the scriptures. Read.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6, and it reads, For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Not above some people.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
That's like racist, ain't it? We talking about nationalities, right? We talking about nationalities. The Most High says he chose one people. One people. And they was be above all people upon the face of the earth. What is this?
But this is about our people.
Huh?
But this is about our people.
But this is about our people. This is about our people. See, when he was speaking to you earlier about the curses, right? It's because we didn't obey. Now let's get someone to read 28 and 1. You go to 28 too, because we're gonna get 15. But get 28 and 1, and let's show what the Most High says in 28 and 1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 1.
No.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So Most High says, if you would just listen, I will set you on high above all the nations of the earth. This is a particular people. So a lot of times we get lost in the sauce because we don't actually identify ourselves as Israelites. We can't see ourselves as Israelites. We see these people who look like Jewish people, those white people. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen them before?
The specific type noses.
Yeah, the people who act like they claim to be Jewish. We see them as being the chosen people, or at the very least, Jews. Because they call themselves Jews. They call themselves Jewish, really. Or Israeli. They don't even call themselves Israelites. They call themselves Israelis. They always have like a moniker, like an off-brand moniker of the true word or the true name. What is this? What is this? Dude, this is a beast. This is a beast out here. It's cold. Infested with fleas.
This man is homeless.
Hey, listen, I'm talking about his nationality.
Hey, precept.
Listen, I ain't trying to knock the brother that's homeless. I'm saying with the word and the wisdom of the Most High God, you know what I'm saying? He'll get you out of that position that you're in. He'll bring you out of the dunghole, out of the dunghill, and set you among princes if you are of his people. Though that ability isn't given to everybody. It's not given to all the rest of the nations. Go ahead, bring your precept out, bro.
This is the book of 2nd
That's what I
Esdras,
was going to actually
chapter
say.
6,
Yeah,
and I'm going to start at verse 54.
You got it.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou hast made the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. So he was not trying to be facetious when he was saying that this is a beast. What he's saying is the Most High looks at all these other nations as nothing. He has one chosen people. That's your people, our people, us. That's all he cares about. So the Most High is saying he's nothing. He is exactly in the position he should be in, because he's nothing. We're supposed to be on top, but we're not, because we don't follow him. And until we follow him, we're going to remain in the dunghill, as he was just saying.
So even if people of other nations follow, are they not then entitled to
What?
to reap the benefits of?
No, not the promises, not those benefits. No, the whole world will have to follow after the ways of the Most High. Yes, when you talking about being saved, no, this is a promise given to His children. Hey, hold on, I don't want. Hey, somebody stay there though. Hold on. Ari, hold on. Like, you stay right there. You go out, I don't want. Stay right there. I thought we don't listen. All right. Huh? Yeah, read that. Go to Amos.
The book of Joel, chapter 2, and verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
Come on, speak up, man. Speak up.
And that I am the Lord
So
your God.
bring it back and speak up, man. Speak up. Raise your voice.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
In the midst of who?
Of Israel.
In the midst of Israel. Go ahead, read.
And that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
And nobody else. Go ahead, read.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
Our people shall never be ashamed. You focusing on everybody else, but you can't be ashamed because God is in the midst of Israel. Read this in Amos.
It's the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known.
Nah, I know God knows everybody on the earth.
You only have I known.
Nah, what you mean? He knows all the other nations. He knows this guy right here.
You only have I
Yo,
known.
listen, we're not making this up. We read the Bible and we figured out what the Bible truly says. That they've been teaching us lies this whole time because we don't read. If you want to hide something, they tell us you put it in a book. Well, listen, sister, you got to open up the book and read.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Read it again.
The book of Amos, chapter 3, and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquity.
And this is why we're in the state where we're in today. Because we was given the word of God. We was given the wisdom in the sight of all the nations to be wiser than everybody else, to be ahead of everybody else. We were supposed to be the chief people out here running stuff.
That's right.
We were supposed to be empowered and strengthened. Anything that we desire in righteousness is supposed to be at our fingertips. If we would just obey and listen to the word of God, man. But because we chose not to listen, he got to punish us for our iniquities. He's not punishing, well, they're going to get their punishment. But he's not punishing them as a nation just yet. As a nation, they're running things. They run the banking systems. They run the media systems. Listen, who created hip-hop?
We do.
Who runs hip-hop?
We do.
No.
What you mean?
No. The Jewish man runs the business of hip-hop. All music in
Business.
general.
Oh.
Yes, the business. The money.
I mean,
The money. They run it. They pay you. Right? They pay the artists.
But it's a lot of black people that own record companies
You,
and
you,
labels.
Rick, no, listen, the
They're owned
majority,
by somebody else.
yeah, it's still, when it comes down to it, the money is handled by someone in the back room smoking a cigar with straight hair and pale skin. Now you might have somebody like a Jay-Z, but for every Jay-Z, you got 10 Leon Cohens or,
That's a fact.
you know what I'm saying? Somebody else in the back room waiting to, you know what I'm saying? Bend you over to get to do you dirty. You some brother say that's the way of the world? That's what you said?
It's a dirty
It's a dirty world. It's a dirty world. So we're trying to open up your eyes to see this, man. Go ahead, read, man.
Now,
You
you,
want to read
you asked us a moment ago if someone else followed what the Most High said, right? Is he there for them too, right? This is Psalm 147 and 19.
Bring that out.
He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and judgments unto Israel.
Who's Jacob? Who's Israel?
Jacob is, okay, Jacob represents the promised seed, right? The bloodline goes from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob. Jacob is our progenitor because he fathered the 12 tribes of Israel, which represent the children of Israel today. So when it's talking about Israel, we can show you that we were split into two kingdoms.
Jacob and Israel can be interchangeable in the scriptures because it was one man. His name was Jacob, and then he changed his name later on to Israel, and you have the 12 tribes of Israel.
So it's basically saying to the children of Israel. That's who this is addressed to, right? Verse 20. He hath not dealt so with any nation.
He has to deal with any other nation.
And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. So that's what we've been explaining to you this whole time. He's not for anyone else. He doesn't care about anyone else. Only his children. Only us. And that's what we're here for. You know, it's not that other people, we want other people to, we want them to do something. We're here for you to do something. We're here for you to come back. We come out here in the cold, right? In hopes that you can understand at least one of the things we're trying to teach you, and it sparks a flame in your mind to make you come back to this yourself. That'll make our day.
Hey, what's going on? Shalom, King. Shalom. How about you know Shalom?
I yield that.
Hey, Jeremiah 31:1 says, at the same time, saith the Lord, will I be the God of all the families of Israel, and they shall be my people. It's all throughout the scriptures. We can keep going. It's a lot of verses to show that God is the God of Israel and nothing else. You see, the scriptures is very possessive. It's very possessive. It says a lot of thys and yours, you know what I'm saying, and mines. Like, it's not theirs and theys and thems. It doesn't say that. I want to read something to you though, because we haven't brought this out in a while, and a lot of times people can't identify as being the chosen people of God. People think that they are not Hebrews, or they're not Jews, or they're not Israelites. They've lost themselves. Get Jeremiah 17:4. Get Jeremiah 17:4 first, and let's explain how he lost himself. Because when we went to Deuteronomy 28, we showed that the curses will have us losing who we are. But they also will show us at the end of the days who we are, coming back into our true nationality. Read that.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4.
You know.
And thou Verse 4, and thou, even thou thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
See, the Most High has said that you was going to discontinue from the heritage that he gave you. He was going to cut you off from this heritage because of your disobedience, man. You hard-headed nigga. I'm going to cut you off from the promises that I gave unto you. Now you're going to have to obey these damn pale-skinned damn faggots out here. So I get for my voice, for my language. But the fact of the matter is, we learned the ways of sodomy from them in this captivity. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing that's not part of our custom. You know what I'm saying? But the Most High said, man, he was going to discontinue our heritage from us. Go ahead, read.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
Serve thine enemies. He already established who our enemies were, right? When we read Deuteronomy 28:68. Didn't we read that earlier?
God.
Our enemies are who? Because we were sold unto them, right? They are our enemies. They are our oppressors. Not just them. Did y'all go into Deuteronomy into
Psalm 80.
You went to
I
Psalm
went there
83?
first.
We got mad nations that been oppressing us. You know what I'm saying? Ishmael they run the gas station, they run all the damn gas stations.
We talking about that.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, the Koreans and Asians, they either got the Chinese store or they got the hair spots. And nails. You wanna get your nails done? Yo, even if you're a sister who wanna do their own nails and arch your eyebrows and all of that, like it's hard to get a business on your own. And if you do, it's okay. But for a nation, they are known to run that business. And we are the ones, for the most part, who get our nails done, get our hair done. We're the one who always patronize their businesses. And they disrespectful. You go to the liquor store. Majority of the liquor stores, even though they be in our communities, are owned by either Amalek, Esau, or Ishmael, or you come out here, they're all owned by damn Arabics. And they overcharge you.
That's right.
Go ahead, finish that, bro.
God. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
So listen, we were to discontinue from our heritage for our disobedience to the Most High God. But a lot of us don't realize what happened to us, how we got to the point we are today. A lot of us are called Africans or African Americans. That's what they call us, right? But African American is a byword. Did we read that earlier? I don't know if we read that to you earlier in the curses. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 28. Yeah, hold that. We're going to go back to that. Deuteronomy 28 and 37. Yeah, 28:37.
It's the book of
This
Deuteronomy.
is also another curse.
Chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment,
Gotta read loud.
a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
So when we go into this captivity, when we go into these places that the Most High is going to send us because of our disobedience, we was going to be known for proverbs and bywords. A proverb, we just talked about a proverb, right? If you want to hide something, you put it in the book. Because black people don't read books. That's a proverb for our people. That's a proverb for our people. It's been since I was a little boy. You know what I'm saying? Another proverb for our people. Black people love chicken, love watermelon. That's been a proverb for our people. You know what I'm saying? Black people are dirty. They're dumb. These are they call it wise sayings. That's what they call it. Stereotypes. You can say that. But also a byword. What's a byword? What do they call you? An African American. How are you from Africa in America? Africa is named by a Roman general named Leo Scipio's Africanus. Right. And America is named after an Italian map maker named Americo Vespucci. These are two different white men, you know what I'm saying? So-called white men who these land masses were named after. And you have the identity given to you by a byword to be called an African American. Before you was an African American, you was named by a hairstyle, an Afro American. Before that, you was a nigger. Before that, you was a coon. Before that, they sold you actually on the slave markets as niggers. Nigger for slave, not African for slave. I mean, African for sale. A nigger for sale. That's what was on all of the
Precept.
Go ahead, read.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 24 and verse 23. All these things are the book of the covenant of the Most High God, even the law which Moses commanded for a heritage unto the congregations of Jacob.
Most High has commanded Moses to give us an heritage, which is the law, statutes, commandments, which was the wisdom. It is the wisdom that we received by reading these scriptures, man, by the law, statutes, commandments. This is the wisdom in the sight of all the nations, through everybody on the earth. The Most High gave one people. We went through all the scriptures just now. The Most High gave one people this wisdom.